What's going on, y'all? It's DG back with another video, and today going to go over the top 10 ways to get basketball shoes, sneakers, or just shoes in general. All of these 10 ways are my highest recommendations and will answer the most frequently asked question that I get. DG, how do you get so many shoes? Where do you get your shoes? So this entire video will break down each method. The first method that I'll go over is going outside to your local stores, whether that be Foot Locker as an example right here, or just any store at a mall, or just any physical store location that sells basketball shoes. The reason why this is important is because the landscape of consumerism and honestly just stores in general is changing, where a lot of product is being sold directly to the consumer online. And basically, the stores have a lot of sales and discounts that you can only find in person. So that's my first recommendation. Just going to your local Foot Locker, going to a Shoe Palace, going to your local mall, checking out the stores there, because honestly, you will never know what you will find. So this is the first recommendation. I've gotten pretty much, a lot of shoes through just going outside to my local mall or local stores. Again, you will never know what you will find. I remember one time I was in the middle of nowhere in California. Like, I don't even remember the state or city. I feel like desert was surrounding it. And they had like Jordan 11s, they had PGs just sitting there, right? Like, so just go outside to your local stores and I guarantee you might find something worth getting. The second method is not in store, but online. So a lot of people ask me how, where to get basketball shoes and Nike basketball shoes, but it's literally just on Nike.com. Just go to Nike.com, you filter by basketball, and you just see all of the basketball shoes here. So this is the second method. It is very simple. The best thing about Nike is that they usually hold sales at least once a month, if not once every 2 months. And during the holiday seasons and stuff like that, there will always be a sale. So all you have to do is just filter by the sales and you see all of these shoes are 20% off and more. So this is the second method. All you have to do is go to Nike.com and search for the basketball shoe that you want. For example, this Nike GT Cut 3 for 100 or 123, and then you add the 20% off on top of that, you're paying around $100 with tax. That is a great deal. And I post this and people are like, how do you get it? Well, you just go to Nike.com and they will have the shoe for you on sale and it ships to you in the United States. The third method is basically playing off of the last two, and it is Nike in person, but it is the Nike outlet. So a Nike outlet store, if you guys don't know what that is Nike shoes on discount. It's very similar to Nike.com, but they just send all of the discounted products here. Sometimes they have good stuff, sometimes they have new stuff, but Nike outlets usually carry a lot of basic things that, fulfill essential needs. So clothes, running shoes, walking shoes, basketball shoes, even cleats, right? So this is a great place to get shoes for cheap and on discount. This is a very good place. Even a Nike clearance store, which is, the difference between an outlet and a clearance store is that a clearance store will have even more of a discount than a Nike or Nike outlet store. And essentially what happens is that the clearance store holds more product. It gets everything from the Nike outlet that doesn't sell. And sometimes product goes directly to a clearance store. So overall, a clearance store is a lot better, but a Nike outlet does house a lot of good shoes. I've gotten many shoes from Nike outlets, from Nike.com, from Foot Locker, right? So those are the first three methods. The fourth method is eBay. This is where it gets pretty interesting in order to get shoes that have been sold out or are rare or player exclusives. This is one of the best places because all you have to do is that you just search for what you want. So we can do KD15 Aunt Pearl. This shoe released pretty much 2 years ago now, and you can find listings from real people here. And if you want to opt in for an authenticity guarantee, you can. But overall, this is a great place to get shoes for, market price, even below market price if they're used. One thing that I forgot to mention is that you need to understand that every retailer, every store, and eBay, this is all resellers. Resellers run everything. Nike is a reseller because they create products at a certain cost, and then they sell the shoe for a profit, for a margin, in order to make a profit, in order to make revenue, in order to keep their business running. So that's like just how it works, guys. It's just how it works. Nike's a reseller, Adidas is a reseller, Under Armour's a reseller. Every brand, every store is a reseller because that's the way that they make money. That's literally the way. So eBay is full of resellers, right? Individual people who resell product in order to make money, or they just sell product in order to get their money back, or even just break even or get less money just to get rid of something, right? This is how it works. I want you guys to understand that it's just business at the end of the day. And shoes, right? It's very popular. So all you have to do is just search for what you want, guys, and you will get a bunch of listings. It's very simple. And this is how I get a lot of shoes. This is how most, collectors get a lot of shoes. It's through eBay. It's through eBay, guys. Or Mercari or Poshmark. I don't really want to go over those platforms just because it's pretty much the same as eBay. But yeah, eBay is a very good option. So this is number 4 on the list, okay? Number 1 was Foot Locker or just any physical location. Number 2, Nike.com, which is digital online. Number 3 is the Nike outlet / Nike clearance store. Number 4 is eBay. Number 5 is Stockx. So Stockx is very important because it allows you to check for the market value of a shoe. So if we go to the Kobe 8 Pro, let's go to the Venice Beach, and we go to a size 11. We can see that the last sale was $243. This is the most simplistic way to think about the market value of a shoe, aka how much a shoe is worth and how much a shoe is supposed to cost, how much a shoe is going for. Okay? The last sale was $243. We opened this up. We can see, it's pretty much $243, guys. $240, $243, $235. So that is the market value of this shoe. Now, if you buy this shoe on Stockx right now, you're going to pay taxes, fees, and shipping. So the total will be around like $280, right? You guys got to think, you got to pay for the service that Stockx is providing you. If you find someone locally, you may be able to get this for $240. If you find it from a resale store, which we'll talk about soon, then they may upcharge the price for $300 or $260, $280 or something like that. The reason why resale stores upcharge prices is because you're not only paying for the product, but you're also paying for the convenience, the shipping. Because if you buy something from Stockx, Goat, or eBay, you will have to wait 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks to get the shoe. So that's why resale stores upmark prices, right? It's for the convenience and the authenticity guarantee and all that stuff. So to recap, Stockx is important because you can refer to the market value of a shoe, and this is what everyone uses to understand what shoes are worth. Next up, number 6 is Goat. Goat is very similar to Stockx, but you can find used shoes here. So if we go to the Kyrie 5, for example, and we click on this Patrick colorway, and we scroll to a common size. So a common size 10. You guys see a new damaged box is only $258. That's a very good deal. This is a steal. Honestly, I'm surprised this hasn't been bought yet and resold, because a new shoe for the Kyrie 5 SpongeBob Patrick is like $450 on average with tax and fees, right? So this is cheaper, or this is a steal, because a $258 with a damaged box is cheaper than a $401, right? That's as simple as that, guys. And the best thing about Goats is that you can buy used. So if we zoom in here, we'll be able to see a couple of listings for used shoes for the Kyrie 5 Patrick. And just based on the images is how you read it, right? So I can tell this shoe right here is pretty used because of how the laces are, so I'm not even gonna bother clicking on it. This first one is $98, so that's, you know, the first indication that this shoe is super used, and you can see the color is fading. This $278 is a pretty good option, so we're gonna click on that one. And we see this shoe's in pretty good condition. It does have some separation on the upper, but overall, this is a very clean shoe. And the reason why this is important is because, if we go back here, this is important because if you see the listings for the size 10.5 used, like a $278 is still a good price, right? Because you're not going to pay $450 for it. You're not going to pay $450 for it. Does that make sense? So all you have to do is just go on GOAT, search for the shoes that you want, and you can find good condition shoes for less than market value. Again, when you think about all of these shoes and you're buying them, you have to understand that everything is based on a market and how much a shoe is worth. You cannot think about shoes in the way that face value, because if you think that way, you're just going to think everything is expensive. At the end of the day, they are expensive, but also, you know, people are reselling it and things are a business, right? And so you just have to understand that $278 is a good deal because it's less than what they're going for, you know? So that's how you think about GOATs. It's a great place to get used shoes in good condition. The way that I'll recommend is Facebook groups. So a ton of Facebook groups have a bunch of sneakers and people reselling sneakers. So this one is a little bit tricky because you have to understand how to negotiate with people, communicate with people online, and things of that nature. So if you don't have it, the eighth method here that I want to mention is basically, you know, Soul Supremacy, which is very niche to the Bay Area, but they do ship nationwide. The reason why I mentioned this is because they have a ton of things that I always go to them for. I go to the physical store location all the time. And I've gotten a bunch of my Kobe's here, Travis Scott's, Off-Whites. Like over the years, I got this shoe right here a long time ago when they first released from Soul Supremacy. And another method that I will mention is, you know, your connections and your network. Once you start, you know, if you're passionate about shoes and you collect shoes, then you will find other people who are also the same as you. And the last thing that I want to talk about is just resellers in general. So I'm referring to people who are just reselling shoes, who are into shoes, that just like do reselling for a living or as a side hustle. So you can buy shoes from resellers, right? And you can find them on Instagram or TikTok, whatever. But individual resellers exist everywhere. I've gotten shoes from a lot of resellers. So it's as simple as that, guys. The common denominator throughout all of these methods is that you need to pay at the end of the day. So especially for rare things, nothing is going to be given to you for like $100. So you need to, you know, find a reseller, develop a connection with them, go on GOAT for used shoes, go on Stockx to check market values, go outside to possibly get things for retail. These are all of the methods that I use. So this is a full synopsis and summary on how I get a lot of shoes. Every single one of these methods I use, and it's pretty simple if you think about it. So to recap, you just go outside and try to find local stores that have shoes, specifically Foot Locker, right? They have House of Hoops, which is owned by Nike. You go to Nike.com. This houses pretty much every new Nike basketball shoe that's available. You go to a Nike clearance store or Nike outlets. They have a lot of shoes on sale and solid selection, especially for casual hoopers. You go to eBay if you want to get a little bit more selective. You can find rare things like a Luka PE. And we see here, you guys, you know, a lot of you probably have never seen this shoe before, but I check eBay all the time, so I've seen all of these. But you can understand from my message that this is where a lot of PEs live, guys. They're just on eBay, and they're from players or like people who are connected to the team, right? But it's all, you know, housed on here at the end of the day. So Yeah, it's just like mostly on eBay, to be quite honest. You go to Stockx to check market value of shoes and to understand how much a shoe is worth. You can also buy on Stockx, obviously. You can go on GOAT to find used shoes. It's very similar to Stockx, so you can also buy shoes on here, obviously. You can go through Facebook groups and understand how to talk to people and just trade with people there. Then once you like start collecting shoes, you'll develop a network. You can find shoes from people that you know. And then, yeah, and then you can go through individual resellers who have Instagram pages, stuff like that. So at the end of the day, this is everything that I know in a very quick summary that's super concise. But let me know what you guys think of all of these methods. I'm pretty sure I hit on every single one, but if you have another method, just leave a comment down below and let me know. I didn't mention Sneakers app because it's very simple. It's just an extension of Nike.com. So just for high heat items and stuff like that, it's basically a raffle system. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this video was helpful. Follow me on all socials at DJHoops, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.